going well, but we had some things to do. So things that we did, 1990 to 1993. That was the first 13-year club, 1990. The first students who had come as kindergartners, the first day the school opened down at Trinity Episcopal Church, and they formed the first 13-year club. The picture is outside my office downstairs. It's a wonderful memory, I think. It's a wonderful reminder of the commitment that families made in those early days to send their kids to kindergarten and then track them right on through with us to give us our first 13-year club. Small group then, now it's a group of 35 or so each year. It's great to be able to see the way that what began then as a wonderful part of the school's fabric, namely that students would come, learn, stay, and graduate, has really come to fruition. My favorite memory of those years, 1990 to 1993, not once but twice we went down to the Final Four soccer tournament. It was not then an IHSAA sport, so here we were, this little school, we went down there. But I'm going to tie it to a person then too, because the first year that we went down, we beat Evansville Rights on a Friday night, and we were going to return for the Saturday game. And here I was driving back up in the car with Tom Summers. And Tom Summers' hands were beating on the steering wheel, going, "We are going to the Super Bowl." And he probably did this for 50 miles. And it was just thrilling. I've got a great memory of Tom. It was a dark, a winter night driving back up. And it seemed to capture one person's vision of how he saw the school and its potential. And so exciting for him to be able to see that realized in that strange way then. 1993 to 1996, things we did. We purchased and developed the South Athletic Fields, the fields that now have a beautiful baseball field, a lovely softball field, a beautiful soccer field down there, a track, 5 tennis courts. It's really become a part of the fabric of what has become a very extended campus. And I mention that because what was the campus that we originally purchased, just over 18 acres, is now about 70 acres as it sprawls through the woods down to that field. That field was the first part of our being willing to say, let's expand this campus and let's feel what a true campus could be like for our students here. So that was the thing to remember from those years. My favorite memory of those years, in the old high school library, downstairs, hot evening again, it was an admissions evening. Admissions evening that had both our own 8th graders coming over to high school and outsiders too. And I can clearly picture Bill DeSalvo standing there and saying, "This is a great high school, but it's a high school for too few kids." And I could feel there was sort of sadness in his voice that he was so committed, so passionate, and it just wasn't yet where he wanted it to be. And Bill and I, of course, have stayed in touch, see each other regularly. Great friend. He was a great friend to Canterbury and continues to be one too. So I think what he brought was a sense of what an independent school could be and transformed the high school in lots of wonderful ways. So my hat off to Bill DeSalvo, and my thanks to him as well. Okay, 1990, let's see where we've got to here. 1996 to 1999. Things we did during that time. Well, that was the first of our boys soccer IHSA state championships in 1997. Now there are 5 of them. So that was a wonderful legacy to begin in those days. My favorite memory from those days is the capital campaign to replace the boilers at the other school. I remember actually thinking, you know, I need to do this because I need to understand what's going on. So I can remember going down there and crawling through the tunnels under the lower school so I could say, yep, I know what it was like down under those tunnels. But in doing so, I was following Mick McConnell. Mick was the one person who had his favorite, famous one-man committees. They were the only kind of committees Mick would ever sit on, was a one-man committee. And Mick was buildings and grounds. Mick was facilities. And anything that had to do with it, Mick would be involved with, and I'd only be following Nick, so Nick, thank you very much for that. Nick actually made it through the times too. 1999 to 2002, the things we did. Class of 2002 had 21 students recognized by the National Merit Scholarship qualifying test, which was an extraordinary number. It's the largest percentage of any class that we've had. I think this year we have 24 students, but it's a larger class. That really seemed to me to set the tone for what the academic experience of the school could be like. It was sort of bringing it to fruition. We'd had some wonderful college experiences up to that point. Students done some great things. But here was a really big, strong class standing out well. And that to me said, you know, in lots of ways, all that those early families had done to support the academic experience of the school was now being shown by the experience of this class. My favorite memory from that time, again, I'll start with something and then move to some people. The Canterbury Foundation reached a total of $5 million in endowment. And I mention that because that was the dream of Bill Cass and Mick Parrott and Tom Summers, Rex Lamb, followed on later by David Stewart and Dick Waterfield, people who have been stewards of the school's endowment over the years. And all that that's meant to us by creating the foundation, having the vision to create it, forcing us to have the discipline that all that entails. And so I really do want to thank the members of the foundation for what you have done to and for the school over the years. Bill and David, and you can see. Thank you.